With your Lucas mill in a horizontal position, you're limited by the blade width as to how much you can actually cut out in one pass. A 7-inch machine like this one here will give you a 200mm cut in a horizontal position. If you want to go wider than 200mm, then you have to turn the saw blade around and come in from both sides. To achieve wider than 200, you would take the waste off as normal, then you'd undermine your cut as much as you can in the horizontal position, and then after that you have to turn your power head around to come back in on the other side and work back from the other side to produce the board that you're after. There's 3 ways you can do that. You can take it up to the end, put the wheels on it, lower the machine down, turn it around with the wheels and wind it back up again to the same position, and you're back on the other side ready to go. The other method is, if you've got a couple of strong blokes, you can just pick it up, turn it around and you're back ready to go on the other side. The third method, the method that we'll show you here today, once you've done your vertical, removed the waste and you've undermined as much as you can of the horizontal, then you set your rulers on 100mm or one ruler only, wind the sawmill on that end up to you're nearly at the top of the ruler, don't actually touch the top. Bring the saw back over in horizontal position over the top of the log, then wind down, allowing the saw to sit on the log and the rails drop away from the carriage. Once the carriage has dropped, or the rails have dropped away from the carriage, you can then swing the saw blade around the carriage around 180 degrees, releasing the side shift brake and winding it whatever way it has to go. Wind back up until your rails pick up the carriage, move it out past the log, and then wind back down to that 100mm mark or whatever it was you set the ruler on to start with. Once you've done that, you're then over on the other side ready to go, and it's a simple matter of removing the edge again, working your way in, cutting whatever size you need out of the, whatever board you can recover out of it until you get to the required width of board that you're after. You will, however, have to, because you've now swapped over to the other side, you've got nothing to reference your size of. So you'll have to physically measure that with the tape measure, mark the size that you're after, stand the saw up in a vertical position and just bring it up to the end of the log and keep moving it in until you're on the mark that you're after. And then you can cut that off, cut all the waste off that's required, undermine it, and the 2 cuts, if you haven't moved the ruler, should line up. I'm going to mark the 300mm point so that I can achieve me 12x2 or 300 by 50. So that's the mark right there for that. I'll pick up a 100mm board out of here, then I'll proceed to pick up the 300mm board. Have one 12x2 double cut, and of course that can go out to twice the width of your saw blade. So if you've got 200mm, this could have been, instead of 300mm, 400mm. The 6-inch machine will give you 12 inches. The 8-inch machine will give you approximately 17 inches. The 10-inch machine's got the potential to give you 20 inches of cut, just simply by turning the power head around and coming in from the other side.